Business Support Fund, as you know, we've been providing support to businesses right across the state for many months now. The Business Support Fund has in total approved 126,420 important applications for support. That has delivered $1.3 billion of support to Victorian businesses. Of course, we don't rule out doing more, but that is a very significant direct financial support. Not so much trying to generate customers with so many venues closed, but that's about survival payments in many respects. However, there are some customer-based activities, some purchasing that we can support, and I'll come to that in just a moment. In terms of the coronavirus worker support payment, you'll recall it was $300 for people who don't have sick leave to fall back on when they've got tested and then need to isolate until they get their test results. That was increased just a little while ago to $450, and I can confirm that 24,968 Victorians have received that $450 payment, either $300 or $450 payment. That's a total of $8.89 million, and is, I think, a very well-targeted response to so many in our community who are in the midst of completely insecure work, and we don't want them to have to make that choice between feeding their family and protecting public health. That payment is a really important way that we can achieve that outcome, that people can take the time off, still be paid, and not be worse off in a very personal sense, but play a really important part in us tracking and tracing and ultimately defeating this virus. So nearly 25,000 people have received that payment. Just on mask distribution for vulnerable Victorians, as at the end of July, we've distributed some 6.2 million single-use masks to schools, TAFEs, community organisations, all of whom supporting quite often vulnerable Victorians. We've also distributed nearly just short of 1 million, so 981,430 reusable masks, again to community organisations, to schools, to GPs, medical centres, and other settings to support vulnerable Victorians who, without that, may not be able to make or source at their own expense a reusable mask. That effort, I think, is central to the really amazing work that's being done by so many Victorians, all Victorians, I think, really, except a very small number, in wearing masks and playing that important part in driving these numbers down. Now, just before I throw to Brett, we have today, it's important to acknowledge that whilst many businesses are closed and Victorians are not in a position to be able to be out shopping other than for the absolute basics, there are so many outstanding products, so many outstanding small businesses for whom quality is the real key. A quality offering in terms of products and produce, and it's only appropriate that we work as hard as we can to try and direct Victorians to those amazing Victorian businesses. Click for Vic, so an opportunity for a really first-class offering to be in one place or a series of places where Victorians can go online and make some of those purchases. The quality of Victorian produce is well known, very well understood and highly sought, but these restrictions and where we find ourselves is very challenging. But whether it be craft brewing or a whole range of other food, a whole range of other products, there are so many businesses across Victoria that are just absolutely outstanding, and the Click for Vic campaign will mean that every Victorian can play a part in supporting small business and supporting jobs by continuing to buy those first-class products online with the support of both Visit Victoria and the Victorian Government. Can I thank and congratulate all of those who've been involved in putting together, whether it's the Victorian Country Market, Providore, or the CoLab Pantry, and many other offerings. I would encourage Victorians to go online and visit these sites. I'm sure you will find many products that are the envy of the world. And if you can play your part in purchasing some of the things you need with a very local focus, then you're supporting those small businesses, you're supporting not just them, but their staff, and you're making it much more likely that they are there on the other side of this second wave.